mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was here now. So 10, I'm 10. You know, go to people that are headed this way. They're coming to slave trade us. So I counted 10, and in each of those numbers, as you say, was yeah, some that's not some a speech or some. It was it's a paragraph of some sort. They say each time I counted, I open up with saying something, and it's saying so most likely a decorate. So I uh, I don't want to say spoke. It's just ask me some other way to explain it. I said something. I spoke something. Allowed I allowed a part of it to be up in the air and be that's another term be excited by. I open up in the sight a sight. So then they their sight. So that'd be the idea of what I said was in those 10 numbers. That's the way to say things. As I said, what I no, what I decided to witness, I imprised a reality, saying in reality in the return of the purpose to excite and refrain them from earth and sacred us in the sense of they're the people that I guess come down, capture, and take it somewhere in another part of the universe, the space. So it was that, but I said there was that, so there was that, but that's about a week ago. You know, they I guess what I guess you could say is came into the reality of where their first, I guess first. You think you have a first, a second, third, fourth, fifth, like 6 parts, I guess you would say. The first part was probably, for some reason, they came in for to to open or no, to probably to allow themselves to see into the world. So they're probably still at a distance, but there's other ways to try. You can travel just by, if you know how, you can just take a step, and you could travel into another dimension, another world. It's not that. It just takes the right, like you say, equipment or instruments. You build it out of, it might have like a computer or something. But I haven't thought about how they were planning to enter the earth, but I guess they came themselves to see, allow themselves to witness, I guess, or allow themselves to open into the earth. And the first, probably was their first. What was it? I know what it is. It was their entrance. So it was their entrance. So that would be their entrance. So that would be, I guess, it would be their out, kind of divided, coming into the earth to open and close things. So they're probably coming in to open and close things and to see what was it, what was. I fell into or was placed or I was caught or something into a compound. I don't know if I try to show you, it's invisible. I fell into a compound when I went in telepathically, and this is a one of war. Either was their trap or someone else's trap, but the trap has names on it. Traps. People usually put the names or it comes with a name for some reason. You can give me. I can try to show you the actual like the tag. I guess it's scratched off. So that means it was a stolen trap or stolen design, however it works. You know, you have to build things like you say. You build a resistor or a duct or add a smasher or something. You have to build things, and you know, things such as those such as things to allow it to operate. It has to have things to operate. It doesn't just operate of Earth or you know just wherever just operate. It has to have real mechanics. Real mechanics. All things telepathy has real mechanics. It has mechanics that are in instruments or devices that allow it to work. And so does the traps. The traps are just like that video game, the one where these blocks on top of you and it starts to develop. I seen that a few months ago. I don't really get into the video games, but I just came across that, and that's exactly how, in some sense, you could do something like that. It just how the trap might be a win, but yeah, I know it takes devices. It takes probably I don't know, there's several different boxes, or the boxes are different kind of functions or whatever. There's several different types of things to operate it. But to be stolen, I guess, what you use someone else's component or someone else's invention. But I guess I don't think it was scratched off by the people who invented it or used it. It's probably because the name tag scratched off. You can see that. So I mean, I don't know how you would steal someone's house trap, like a house door. I mean, or trap door. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how would you steal. I know you could duplicate things if you see something and like that's involved or anywhere in telepathy. You see like a device, you could duplicate it. I know that. So that might be it. That might be how it's stolen. It must have been duplicated. But you scratch out the name, like stolen CD player, right, or something. So you scratch out the serial number. But oh, that's strange. I mean, because you scratch it out, it's stolen. So the device is stolen. So what? Scratch it to sell it? Maybe it was offered. It was auctioned. Maybe. Yeah, maybe they sold it or something. Maybe it was there. So someone got hold of the contraption and sold theirs to somebody. So it scratched off someone else's name, but it'd be someone's name, it'd be the name who invented it, I guess, or the person whose trap it was. Because most people tagged their things, even though there's people in the universe that I guess are like the police, but not all police are good. A lot of people on this earth want to be involved in that form of slavery and form of stuff, in the form of the evils in it. I guess you could build a house and like that and trap someone, and if you get someone caught up inside the house or trap, they can't get out. So you have authority over their life. You can enter in and out of their lives through telepathy or different, even in the physical world, you enter in and out of people's lives without them controlling it. You get advantage of people's lives with these things. But yeah, I talked to them, but I didn't address, but I I opened to them, and I told and I was enforced an objective of mostly saying if you try to replicate the Earth, and since your abilities in the dimension of the in and along the feet of the existence will live through impression and through consistencies that are beyond the imagination of pain. They'll live in complete pain and sensibility of pain that exists in, I don't know, say you're in a room and these knives just stabbing you or something, or keep causing your body to hurt, or I mean, I don't really put thought into it, but a number of different things that you do in torment, right? I could build torment and do use it when I need to on high levels of high levels of serial killing, but I don't do serial killing. I do there's some sensibility, some similar things, and a way for retaliation. So I know the difference between right and wrong. I know the difference between right and wrong. I do. I know when it's a murder and when it's retaliation. I know the objective of what's considered a false accusation. I know when it would be right and when it's wrong in all circumstances. I have pure idea of righteousness in the mind of true righteousness under the theology. But in that though, I told them they would end up in my place. I'd get fucked up, really fucked up. I mean, fucked up. I mean, really fucked up. So that was just this is what I placed in their lives, and I remember it happening. Some other people came by. So the vision of the screen was like kind of going up. When you talk to someone, you see a people visually, so it's like a screen. And it's not like kind of like some prospects, or maybe no, no. It was something like it was like their kings or their like the governors, like a lower person than the emperor maybe, or some of the presidency, or so like certain general maybe, or a little lower, maybe a Congress member or different forms of Congress, I guess you could say, however it exists. That's what someone became president, like two of them, and they started running their mouth off, like the slave owners, the slave traders. And so I started running, and so they spun out a little bit because people are spinning out kind of in the same time idea, closing up on everything. They started saying they say something like they were like afraid or something about me being able to punish them. They were being all cocky, I guess it was. So I placed a duty to confine reality of the trap, and showed them that you be living through this for a very, very long time, and it will happen. And the Jews started saying started tripping out like changing his mind about what he said or entering or not saying that he don't give a fuck. Like, it's not gonna face him or anything. He started complaining. And since Felix asshole left the trap to exist, his life function like as at that time as today. So as a function of because he was actually fighting it, still like saying, "Oh, no, it won't be in trouble." When he started to realize that he was gonna be in there longer than he expected, longer than he could endure, he started to change his mind. I mean, it's not a joke. These teams can handle people that are aged and abilities to whatever age you go to, but I don't know. If I guess you say eventually you'll get into pain. These people are our ancestors that have been around for billions of years, and they weigh up. They say we weigh up the same body type. We weigh up to like 1,000,000 pounds. That's just like this, like the strength we have or something, and the talents and everything they can do is enormous. But I guess things will weigh them down too. I guess, but I don't know. I don't know how well they could withstand a forever type of pain. I don't know how far off they would give in to it, but I don't know. But that's how big these traps are, though. Just how big these traps are. I'm placing before them and having them, them assist in the reality. I know that you let them fight the war for you. Right? That's just from Christianity. I'm not from Christianity. But but that's was part of the idea. I guess I just brought it up because I'm not Christian. I'm more than some witchcraft. But I will learn, or observe, or watch and listen to a lot of things where it could have a real reality inside of it. A real reality inside of it, where it could be something good. I look at most everything I've done. I look at is find different things that are all things that wherever I'm certain I observe of. I find things in everything. I find things in everything that suggestively seems like a very fairly good thing, I guess. But that's where it comes from. Where I got it from is let like the war for you. So I placed that in part of the involvement. I've been doing a lot of things for 20 years in study, but that's involved. So I don't know. So I guess that's quiet. I really don't know why I want that thought, but yeah, that occurs. So they have. and placement in the world where they're able to adjust to this thing. 'Cause it's still able to get to us because the birth rate, we outnumbered them. These people are quite highly strong, and all dimensions they got outnumbered by our birth rate. And these are some of the firstborn of our species, or the firstborn ever, would be different creatures. Because when we were born, our species was firstborn. There was other people living, but it wasn't like they say it wasn't our species exactly. And so my grandfather was the first one who became himself king out of our birth, out of our the first, first being born to Earth, and that's what it is that he just got born. There's a new species. There's two new species that were just born within the last few months. You see them? That's new spider. Yeah, there's two of them on this thing. This is that orange, but there's nothing there. You can see it. They're right there somewhere. There's two spiders, a male and a female. And I can't remember what the guy's name said he was, but the girl's name is Alistine. Alistine is Alistine. Some of that little spider's name. Over here, but these guys here, new species, brand new species, just was born within the last few months. We'll let them, let anyone talk. We can talk. So what's going on? It seems like I got boycotted on this because I was going to talk to you about gays, but gays are raping me and shit. So that's why I don't like gays right now, and I don't trust no gays because gays are all the same. I guess I don't know. That's why everybody boycotting me, everybody boycotting me, and that. Maybe that's happening. There's still functional people in this world that want to use this telepathy for evil. Just are in the world, and there are people who are related to us because there are people who relate to us. There are people who relate to us, and you might find there's some in your family or some distant family member involved of wanting to telepathy for fucked up shit. So I mean, so they're out there. So And why it's hating these little faggots, you know, little faggots. That's what I thought you were boycotting, but it's all right. You, they can speak though. They can speak different languages, whatever languages they're born into, or they're from, or whatever. Like these spiders would have what was it? Austin and the other guy's in the dude's name, the dude, the smaller one, but they're Native American names. Native American names. That's why I got from this. I think that's pretty true. Alistine and whatever the dude's spider's name was, the American. Well, the dude's name was I didn't really say. I think I was coming up with it was Pacific. The dude's spider's name was a Pacific name, and hers is a Native American name, Alistine or something like that, or African, or Alsatian. Those are American names, like. Hey, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know if we're still expecting someone to come this way. I mean, in my experience, I've been in this just to be out of slavery. The only thing I have is being in the free world. It's like being compounded by those girls. They get compounded by serial killers. They end up in the backyard instead of in a building and shit. It's virtually no different. But and it could be virtually no different because they get into my life when they choose. As long as they have that much control, or they might be a little afraid to do so. But yeah. But it's not, that's something you might not want to experience. There might not be, I don't know what's friendly and trade. I mean, there might be a thousand different reasons why people trade people, or why people want to acquire slaves, or someone that they have control of. Some of it's sexual. I mean, that's most definitely not pleasant. I mean, you have full control of your body. I never experienced full control of the body. There's not a distance. That distance can be fully real. It hasn't been. They haven't got that far yet. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess one way you might find someone jumping out of the sky and tackling you. I've seen it happen on a different planet. They're being first assaulted. I guess. I mean, all the different parties of a slave trade organization, probably of some sort, or whatever action may be. I would just say organization makes sense. I mean, a lot of the doctors don't believe them. A lot of doctors are in on it in their own way. Even the people that will give you medicine, prescribe you medicine, are in on it. I swear to God, it's everybody. Everybody believes them and shit. Everybody believes them. They never believe me because they're in on it. They're in on it. I don't understand how this really get when they getting to a point where it's getting sick and tired of bullshit. How can you fucking not believe that it's other than the schizophrenia? It's fucking pissing me off. I don't have to do that. God, 20 fucking years, these people still have become unchanged on the idea. Stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's really fucking stupid and shit. Really fucking stupid. Must really have a tight grip of it. The system was built by people for the slave trade. And they were conditioning us through those realities to respond to them in certain ways. So those people were trading us, were conditioning us for jokes and shit, so they could pick on us while they slave trade us and shit. But I don't know. I hope that the people that I I guess told that they were paying. And just it was a whole conversation of some sort. And plus, I just said a few things. Plus, I was on one too. So, but I don't know. I don't know if we're looking good or bad right now. But I'm not gonna say we're looking good and say and say that because I don't know 100%. But to say I don't know or not looking, not, I mean, then say that we are in a positive idea of that, which I figure we might be. Say in my opinion, but I'm gonna leave it open as I don't know. It's just day by it's gonna hit us or we're gonna get away from it. Get away from it, I guess. No, I made my say so's on it. Well, it's 10 points. I counted into the thing right here at Starbucks. I think I was here and did that. Counted into to this ceiling thing here. 10 points. I made my statements. 'Cause plus, it'd be hard, I don't know. Like I said, I'd rather let them fucking work me when sometimes they're not able to stop things. It's not how much advantage people have in this world when they want to do evil shit. People from all different types of species of people. They can move planets and shit. And we outweighed them just by birth rate, and everybody's not listening and shit. They're separated from them like completely and shit. They can't move into the world. They say. That's trip. I mean, it's a real bitter reality, I guess. You get bitter. I get bitter just in anything. Anything can be act. That's how it's over dividing the world so no one can fucking have love, have life. Because I think, well, I don't know. It's the fact that I'm not having my fun. I'm not living a normal life. So I thought people should take a break from theirs. Not past the Sabbath. I don't give a fuck. People have been having fucking a great time, and I've been here looking after everybody's back, and just the fact someone being a being an asshole, being any form of dickhead, I ain't, I ain't pleasant about it. It don't make me feel happy. It makes me makes me upset. It makes me want to destroy people. I mean, you're lucky enough. I had enough fucking blood in my system to care enough to make an attempt. Because one reason this is happening because I'm not normal. I'm not normal for anybody in the world. I'm not normal for anybody in the world. I mean, I'm truly different. Truly in a world of insanity. I'm not a normal person. And I caught the end time. All you people are still living on. When it's the world is over, so you became slave trade, you still wouldn't see it. Woke out of a reality. Woke out of a reality that no one knew existed. I set a foundation that changed ET's crops. Yep. We made big bucks in the city we live in. This the university city we live in. It's like a galaxy. It's hundreds of galaxies in one city. Or what city we're in. Different names. But I mean, bucks. Yeah, I got 400,000 zeros. I'm just waiting for this to start happening. You know, I get my money, or my spending money. I still gotta save. I'm a bank. I'm a real bank. I mean, big fucking money, changing the environment of science and shit. I don't know more dude. What is? I was just talking about people coming this way to slave trade us. I already had. I made my statements towards them to say what I was gonna say. I said if they attempted to abduct us, they'll live in a very, very, very long time in pain. Like I can build things like serial killers. I don't practice serial killing, but whatever you can imagine serial killing, whatever you can imagine a pain suffering will be, I build it and use it. And it's self-defense. You're supposed to have those realities in your body, those violences. You come up against people that are very different, and that's all it really is you have to stop them or even calm them down. So you have to throw them in dungeons and shit. I'm really fucking violent. Really, 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 really fucking violent. And those realities. I'm still young, so I can't handle that much blood, but you know, I exist in the reality of having fun. If you look, if you look into the sky, look up, there's actually something. There's something still there. The slave traders. You can see, I can see that. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, if we have to fight, that's gonna be a whole different story. My statements are that when we capture them, so it's a long run thing. We're gonna be done and slave traded and on our way where what we're gonna do. And if they get a hold of us. I was talking about after when I and apprehend them, that could be 100,000 years of effort. 100,000 years. They could be really done and slave traded 100 million. I don't know, we would off in some other world being a slave, and I still be trying to apprehend them, and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter to ourselves. We would be slave trading. It wouldn't matter to them, except for their own incarceration. So they can still slave traders, and you'll be on your way, and for millions of years being a slave, so you can get out of it and shit. It ain't that easy. But still could attempt. It's just they're willing to lift the pain around. That's all it really is. They could say fuck. They could be like whatever, whatever. You know, eventually they're not gonna want to be in that place. But we can still be slave trade. Oh yeah, cool. We need to say fuck it. Let's just pass them on real quick, and then we deal with our incarceration. I don't know what they're gonna do. And these guys are the halves, or the other half of the world. We're hoping that they would give us to them. I don't know, it's from your siblings down to cousins, down to uncle, or all the way down to grandfather, or even Some people find that their close relatives are involved in some way. Some will find that all of us will find a distant relative, or relative in general, that's involved in this in the way they're involved in what we want to select before. Yeah, but I'm out.